So if you're watching this video, I know that you want to make sure that your photographer does not miss a moment of your special day. So this is part 4 of a 4-part series, making sure that your photographer doesn't miss a moment, and we'll get straight into it. Welcome to the channel, guys. I'm Georgia McGilly from Georgia Best Photography, and I post wedding planning tips and advice every single week on a Saturday for you guys. So make sure you hit subscribe so that you don't miss out on any more of these tips, and we will get straight into it. So the last 3 videos we've covered all the getting ready photos, all those detail photos. We've covered all the kind of in-betweeny bits, making sure that your venue has been photographed and all your decor and all those beautiful things that you've put all your money into has made sure that they've been captured so that you don't forget about them. We've talked about first looks, we've talked about ceremonies, we've talked about portraits, and today we're going to be talking about the reception, making sure that you've spoken to your photographer about all the different essential important parts of your reception that you want to make sure they're captured. Once you guys have gone off and had your portraits at a beautiful location of your choice and you've come back to your reception venue, make sure that your photographer goes off and into the reception venue ahead of you and maybe orchestrates where your welcome kind of moment is going to happen. So you want to have your wedding party entrance captured and make sure that she or he doesn't miss that moment. So make sure your photographer goes in first. They should know this already, but just discuss this with them beforehand and tell them that it's important to you. They'll go in first. If they're anything like me, I'll make sure that everybody knows what's going on, whether there's a master of ceremonies or a best man who's going to announce you into the room. I'd speak to that person and say, they're here, they're ready, we're just going to capture it, make sure that the master of ceremonies waits until the photographer is in place, and then they'll announce you, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and welcome, and then everybody will cheer and be excited, and you'll capture that beautiful moment of you coming in as a newly married couple and all of your friends and family enjoying that moment. Okay, moving on, a lot of the reception will just be the photographer milling around and capturing all those little moments of people milling around, enjoying, chatting, catching up, laughing, all those sort of fun things that happen on a wedding day. But you also want to make sure that there's maybe some essential moments captured. So they'll make sure that they've got the speeches done, the toasts done, all those sorts of things. But I also recommend that you make sure that you spend time kind of going from table to table, chatting with your guests and bringing your photographer with you. That way you can make sure that you've got photos, maybe actually stand and smile photos with particular friends and family, or just photos of you chatting with those people. So when you look back at your wedding album, there are actually photos of everybody that you invited. When it comes to dancing, you want to make sure your first dance is captured, any dances maybe with your parents that you might be doing, and then if you dance with guests at any point, those sort of things. And then as a good photographer will do, they'll carry on just kind of moving around and capturing people having fun, having drinks and dancing away. If you've got a band or a DJ, go ahead and make sure that they captured those people playing and performing so that you don't forget who was there and involved on your wedding day. If you're wanting to do something like a bouquet toss or a garter toss, that needs to again be orchestrated by your photographer or by the master of ceremonies. So make sure it's announced, make sure your photographer's there and ready for you to throw your bouquet or toss your garter and all of that kind of thing. Also make sure that your photographer's there for your cake cutting, and then really just let them enjoy the day, let them mill around, capture all those special moments. And if you are wanting a specific send-off, like a sparkler exit or balloons or lights or anything like that, or you're going to have a special moment in the day, if you're planning on playing a game like Mr. and Mrs. or anything fun like that, just make sure that you've informed your photographer beforehand so that they make sure that they don't miss it. And all of this stuff in this video is not stuff that you need to remember on the day. This is things that you want to sit down with your photographer beforehand and chat through all of them, maybe give them the checklist if you really want those special moments captured, so that they know exactly what they're doing, and then you just leave it to them. It's their job to help the day run smoothly and make sure that they're there for all those essential moments. As a photographer, I always make sure that I've got written down all the times of the day, that I know exactly what's happening when, and if there's any jobs that I need to make sure certain things are happening at a certain time, I've got to make sure I'm there and I've not run off to go to the toilet or I'm not eating my dinner. if your photographer isn't going to be around later on for the send-off, so a lot of photographers finish the day maybe a couple of dances after the first dance, and they're not going to stay till 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So if they are planning on leaving before and you've not booked them for an extra few hours, which that's usually an option for most photographers, but if they're not, then it's well worth faking the send-off. So if you wanted a sparkler exit, you can kind of like arrange a time just after the wedding breakfast, maybe before the first dance, for everybody to hold their sparklers up and you to kind of run through the archway or something like that. And then that means that you're going to actually capture that really special moment. And if you're going to do it again later on, then at least you've got photographs of it happening even if the photographer's not there. So there you go, that's it from me. That's 4 whole videos on how to make sure that your photographer doesn't miss a moment of your special day. If you haven't watched the others, then go ahead and make sure that you watch them after this. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and hit subscribe and like. I don't just cover photography stuff for weddings, I cover everything related to planning your wedding every single week. If you're interested in how to book your wedding suppliers, then go ahead and watch those videos. I've got a playlist all on wedding supplier interviews where I've brought in some lovely wedding suppliers that I've worked with and asked them questions about how they work as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you don't forget to go ahead and grab my free wedding planning checklist and guide, which is in the description below. This will really help you on your wedding planning journey. And I will see you guys really soon. Congratulations on your engagement and your upcoming wedding. I'm always cheering you on. Bye.